Okay, we're working on a 78 shovel motor. Yeah, H8, 78. So this is a big bore 93-inch motor. So somebody already cut the top end out here for a big bore, but they didn't cut all the stuff out down in the inside that I like to get rid of. That way I don't bleed when I work on things. Kind of hate that. And also I got to cut the studs out here for clearance when you go through the holes right here. You can see how they stick up right here. Obviously if they stick up a little bit, you can't put a cylinder down over it. He had these Allen bolts in here, so we're going to take the Allens out. We're going to put acorn nuts on both sides. So he'll have acorns on both sides. Right down here. So he wants acorns on both sides. Kind of like we did on Fred's bike. Alright, so I went ahead and pre-marked it with my felt tip. So you find the mark right here. Then I mark over here on the outside how far I want to go. And that tells me where I'm at. So these are not symmetrical, so if you notice how the stud is not even, flip it around, it's now even, see? So these are not centered, this side's wider than this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pulley cut these, what do we call it? So I'm going to put a lathe, I'm going to just turn it down a little bit, all the way across. That way the stud can be any direction in here at all, it doesn't matter how it is. If you don't do it that way, then you're going to have to mark the end of the stud and always have it in one direction, because if there's only a crescent cut in here, if you move it just a little bit, it hits on the inside of the cylinder and cause piston scuffing, cylinder and spigot to break off, and things like that. These spigots right here don't like having pressure put on them, so you got to make sure you don't have them kind of problems. So my tripod over here. Go over here and do a little cutting. Yeah, broke my tripod already. Ah, I'm bolting this in. This is dangerous. Alright, I gotta fix my tripod. We'll be back. Okay, we got our stud back. Go ahead and trim this down a little bit. Let's see, long side goes inside the chuck. Alright, you can't really see very much, but oh well, we'll figure it out. What I'm going to do is mark where I'm going to cut, where the limits are at. I'm going to make a little cut. Pretty much worthless for looking at. Try over on this side. You can see a little better maybe. Kind of guess how far to go. The same stick number to cut again. Damn it. There goes the phone again. that's it for now. Okay, we're back at it. Every time I stop with the phone rings again. But anyway, I got the other stud cut also, so I went ahead and cut this one. This one's cut deeper, and this one's got a lot of clearance on it. Now, the way you check your clearances are, you put a straight edge on here, and if you drop into the hole, see how it drops in the hole there without touching, you know you're close. So this one here is close, but it looks like it's not hitting. You can also look in there and see a little bit of a gap. If my light was on, there, I had the light on a minute ago. So you want to make sure there's a gap in there. You can hear it click, drops down in there, but right like that, you can hear it. Okay, this one over here, which is the one you watched me cut. This one here is a little bit closer, as you can see. And you lay the straight edge in there, you can see it's barely got a little bit of a gap in there. It's really close. And it doesn't drop in there very far when it hits it. So this one here I'm a little bit close on, but it's close. The problem with this is this goes side to side depending on what combination parts you got. Sometimes you got air cleaner brackets over here, sometimes you got clutch cable brackets over here, and these things can float back and forth a 1/4 inch. So unless you cut this enough to float back and forth, you might run into problems if it's not cut enough. This one over here, you don't have a lot of clearance. It basically sits right in the center and there's no extra. Yep, that's a two-handed job. Alright, back to your tripod. Alright. Okay, so now you take the stud and you put the net toward the side of it, shove it all the way over and see if you went far enough. And it looks like this one here will be fine. Do the same on the other one. And it looks like it's probably cut just enough to not be a problem. It's definitely closer though. I think it'll clear. But there's no reason to make it just perfectly correct. Put your marks in here again. Pull it out and take a look at it. Now you know what you really have. So you can see the two marks that are left right here. I'm in the flat part of the stud, so I'm okay. Because it starts tapering right here on the edge right here and goes up. So I can go another 1/8 of an inch further without even being a problem. But I'm going to cut this a little bit deeper here because it's a little bit closer than I want it to be. So we'll cut just a little bit more out of it. This one over here, you can see I cut a lot more out of it. See the difference two, how thin they are? Because this one here I knew it was going to be a lot heavier cut. So this one here I'm going to cut a little bit deeper, and then we'll come back and double check it. Then we'll put the cylinders on there and make a 100% check. Because there are a couple other things we got to check too while we're at it. Okay, let's see. We couldn't see nothing from that side. Yay, back to me. Go over here on this side. Yeah, you might be able to see something maybe. Okay, so long side right there. Check. I'll do straight instead out a little more than I had before. Now the stud's not wobbling around so bad. Something to do with the other one too. Okay, so we're just going to do a little cutting. Catch the edge right here. Probably cut another 20 thou deeper. Out. And taper it again. You want to taper it so you don't have any one spot where the stud will break evenly. So you taper it in pretty good from both sides. Now it's a crappy finish too, which could be better, but it doesn't matter. If the stud's going to break, it's going to break, right? Okay, so now we can go ahead and put this one in there and double check it. So you can also do this with an eyeball a little bit. You can see where you're at. So the studs in the wrong side already. So you go all the way over this way. You can see how the edge of the taper is right here. So that one's pretty close. The other side here, we're a long ways from hitting on that side. So this one here is a little bit closer on this side, more than it looked like it would have been. I'm just getting up into it, but we have enough clearance. It's a little bit close on this one side, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this back just a little bit deeper. I'll give it another 1/16 of an inch. A little bit closer than I like. It doesn't really matter how much you cut these back as long as you got enough clearance. So a little bit extra doesn't really make any difference. Really got a long cut on it, which is more than you need for if it spits in one spot, but when you got out here where it can slide back and forth a 1/2 inch, we give it a little extra. So now when you look at it, you can see how it goes way over there, and we got no room for a nut on this side. You go over here, no room for a nut on that side. You can see it's got the same clearance issues. So now it should work. So anywhere between here and here, it'll work. Put it in the center right now. Get this one. Make sure you're centered where you want it to be. Alright, so now we have lots of clearance here. And we got lots of clearance here. Okay, now I'm going to put the cylinders up on here. I want to make sure the cylinders don't bottom out down here and make sure they fit inside the spigot. I'm going to have to cut this case down here a little bit because it's got someone got a little carried away taking this off with a screwdriver or something, and they run a dull file across here and pretty much screwed up the whole surface. I got to clean it all up. And then the other problem is someone got a little carried away right over here and cut into that pretty deep too, which would be an oil leak. So that one there is a little bit more of a problem. And I'm thinking more like doing like a JB weld in there or something that would seal it up. It should be a nice clean hole like over here, so you don't really want to go welding right in this area because it's cases like to crack when you weld in areas like that. So anyway, I gotta do a little work on that. We'll probably want to do that after it gets back from the polisher. We're gonna send these out and have them repolish a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to go ahead and find me a couple cylinders. So I'm gonna go grab those. I'll be right back. Alright, so there's one, and there's two behind me. Okay, come out. There it goes. I'm trying to drop it. Alright. I'll get these unpacked and be back. Phone call number 12, I think. Alright, we're back again. Lots of interruptions today. Yep, some of those days you just can't seem to get anything done. But we keep trying. Okay, on the S&S cylinders, they're marked front and rear. And right here in the part number has an R, that means it's rear. In case you're stupid and can't read, the next thing you figure out is where the drain back hole is at. It's always on the left side here. So that means wherever the cutaway is in the middle of the bike. So if this was in the middle and this was on the left side, not the right, this would be a front. But being a rear, this here's on the left side of the bike. That means you have another cylinder right here. So this would be the front would be here. This would be the rear. That's how you tell. I already got the front cylinder over here on the case, which you can see right there. Pull it up works better. So it fits down flat against the case. It's not hitting anything. But the bad thing is they didn't cut it to a very good size. So you hear how the clearances are loose as a goose. So the whole cylinder is walking around on the damn thing. They cut the damn spigot too big of a diameter. That's why I always measure the cylinders and then cut the hole, not the other way around. So there's our other cylinder. So once again, it goes all the way down. And I don't know if you can see how much it's moving. It's pretty loose. It's got at least 20 thou clearance for it easily. So that's not a very good fit. Pretty well sucks. So let's see what size we got here. Okay, so we're about 90 on the hole. I'll check the other one. Looks like they're coming about the same number, 88, 90. Okay, now you go and measure your spigot over here. And it drops down to 65. Hi, Alan.
Tatro machine.
So we got 25 thou clearance. You only need 5. 10 max. This one's got the same kind of numbers on it, so we're pulling 23 to 25 thou there, depending on how you measure it. So definitely loose. So that means you don't have any support on your spigot down here. There's no support in the case for hold to help this keep this from flexing. So nice. Oh well, that's how they make them. Okay, the other thing we got here is we got an oil gallery hole. I don't like doing it the way they did it here. So you can see how S&S does the hole. There you go. So it drains down through here, and it goes sideways through the cylinder here. And it's supposed to put oil inside on the side of the piston, which is over here. So this goes right here. The only problem is it doesn't rub on the side of the piston. The oil, it hits on the front and the back of the piston. The pistons are oval, so there's no reason to have oil on the side of your piston. At least not on that part. So doing it for lubrication is a myth. So the next thing is you have to drill a hole in the case right here, which weakens this whole side right here. What I do is I drill straight down. I come out underneath here in the bottom, which puts oil into the bottom of the case and goes down on the flywheel and doesn't really fling around as much, so you got less windage, which gives you more horsepower. That's how I do it. And if it goes down the side of the case, it might actually get to the main bearing and help lubricate the main bearing, which is splash lubricated anyway. So, but going on this other way, it goes on top of the flywheels, which spins all over the place and causes more horsepower loss. So I don't like that method. So this here I'm going to have to drill these straight down, so we'll do that. Who's that?
Hey, what's up?
Is that Bozo?
No.
Look at that shirt.
What do you mean?
You had a beard before, now you don't have a beard.
No beard anymore. No, I'm going mainstream.
Somebody made a comment about that.
They did?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not sure what the comment was. I'd have to go read one of the many. But,
Well, don't look at me. I've been drinking, so.
That way you're so late, you've been drinking and driving?
Yep, not driving, just drinking.
What'd you do? You walking?
No. What are we working on here?
Walking and driving is illegal too, you know.
Boy, those are beautiful cylinders.
You say that about everything.
How many, what displacement?
88 with cylinders and 93 with the crank.
Wow.
Okay, so now I gotta deck these off. I gotta bore out, cut these out here. I'll just do that by the grinder. These things out.
And what does that do for it?
It gets rid of these edges that like to cut me.
Okay. Why would they leave that in there on the initial machine work?
Because S&S said to cut so deep and stop.
You would think they'd run them all the way through.
Well, that's how I do things. But
And I wonder about this too. I've always wondered why this edge is here. You think that doesn't look good to me?
that's because Harley has two different molds for each side of the case, and they don't care what they look like. So one side is nice and thick where it seals and doesn't break, and the other one's real thin and frail, so it can break, or the biggest thing is it leaks.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, they could either, make it right. I mean, we're talking about quality.
No,
Now-
we're talking about Harley Davidson.
Okay. Are those Harley cases there?
Yes.
Okay. Well.
Aftermarket stuff looks good. Harley stuff don't care
All right.
because Harley doesn't give a squat about the bike once they sell it.
Well, I can see. I mean, that right there shows you a lot.
Once they sold that bike, they don't care about you no more. They want to sell you another bike.
Well, and that's why they've been in business for a long time.
So, and then the buffers got carried away and taken all the gasket area off, so that plug doesn't have much to seal with. And then you got to look at the threads and see if they're any good.
So what are you saying? Polished cases don't make you go fast,
No, they make you lose money.
do they? Now, if we could get the public to believe that, they'd.
Yeah, well,
Why didn't we polish this in here?
because the primary cover goes on.
I see that, but since we're for show, you'd think they wanted polished in there.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
You get what you pay for around here.
I guess you're right.
So now we got to get this thing machined this. I already cut the studs out.
What studs? Where are you talking?
Well, you'd have to watch the video.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I just got in here.
That's right. It's top secret stuff.
So actually, is this pinned though?
It's on
So
need.
this comes.
It's on need to know.
Okay. Well, I'll have to watch the video then.
You have to get some internet first.
All right. Well, these cylinders are beautiful. Are they new?
These are new. These are
Okay.
brand new because the used ones, dumbass, didn't cut the studs over here.
Okay.
So when they beat the studs in, they broke the cylinder.
Who did that?
The previous shop,
Oh, Jesus. When they beat the cylinder in.
no, they beat the stud into the case out. The cylinders are on.
Oh, my God.
They're stupid
Really?
Because they're stupid. So
But-
we do have a set of cylinders for sale that are relatively cheap that are basically new.
But like you said,
They might have a couple of issues with them though.
but it's like you said, you get what you pay for.
Well, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You
Well-
get what you get from different shops. Yes.
So where do you think in their wildest dreams they would think that wouldn't matter?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. I'm guessing they should probably go back to collecting stamps or model trains or something.
That's why we have videos that show you this stuff.
Okay, well, hopefully the viewing public keeps on viewing.
I don't know.
Well, Tatro Machine puts a lot into this stuff.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, okay, 40 years plus. What do you think experience you got into this business?
I just started last week.
Yeah, shit. How old are you now?
3.
Well, I know better, but whatever. I know you for a long time, so
This is my first one.
yeah, okay.
There's no instructions.
Yeah.
You didn't go through that. It's kind of like your tranny.
No, well, come on.
We don't know
Boy,
anything.
look how nice that drops right in there.
That's the release of the deuce.
Yeah, well.
S&S believes in lots of clearances, so they're nice and nice.
Hey, I don't know if he's watching, but Don Lipsky, you're called.
What'd you call him?
Now, he's called for a freight job this evening. Yeah, that's a railroad thing. You wouldn't understand, but Don will know.
He's on duty.
Yeah, he's on duty.
I got extra parts. What do I do with these?
I don't know. What's all this heavy chipping here on the ways? Did you do actually any machining tonight?
Wait a minute. I didn't chip my ways up, did I?
No, this is...
I did this last year, or 2 years ago. I actually did that.
Wow. What did that? The bore, you actually bored through to that.
I don't know if it was an end mill or a drill bit. I forget how I did it, but I did it. I've been a dumbass.
Well, your dad wouldn't have approved of that.
I called myself all kinds of choice things.
I'll bet you did. But that's okay.
No,
That
it
didn't...
isn't. It's terrible.
Wow, come on.
Amateur hour.
Well, you're pretty hard on yourself because you expect perfection.
That's because Don Lipsky's going to get on my ass now about it.
Don Lipsky's not going to get on your ass. He's an enthusiast. In fact, actually, your Harley guy yesterday, and I told you this, paid you the biggest compliment, and you heard what that was, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. He said Tatro machine was the mecca for 4.5 motors.
He's stupid. He's pulling my titty.
He might be, but he was a decorated veteran. He didn't look like he was joking to me.
Okay, I won't hold him against him too much then.
Okay, well.
Only halfway.
I thought that was a big compliment.
That's how you tell showboaters from people that really know stuff.
Actually, like I said to you...
Showboaters care about what you think. Real people don't.
Actually, like I said to you, the next t-shirt batch we run, it's going to be Tatro Machine World.
That's not what I'm having put on them.
Well, that's what I'm going to have put on my run. I know, I see that San Diego strip shit.
No, I'm putting a Harley Davidson Specialized thing on the back, and you said you wanted it.
Hey, so talk to us here about how the Good Guys meet went. Your bikes were on display.
Didn't you have the video of that?
No, I didn't notice it yet, but no, tell the audience here.
You didn't go.
All right, so tell them.
The video guy, which is right there, didn't go. So
what bikes did you have on display?
I left a nice black mark in the building when I left.
I know you did, but you did it when nobody was watching.
Well, two people almost ran over it.
Oh, okay.
But I just went around and I didn't care.
What do you call this appliance here?
Appliance?
Yes.
It's not an appliance.
What is it?
It's heavy.
I know that. It's for mocking up something, but what is that? And that's all cast.
I'm doing some cutting.
All right. But what do you call that thing? It's a
milling machine.
Yeah, I know, but that's a 90-degree brace or something, isn't it?
Oh, you mean the angle plate?
Yeah. All right, angle plate. That's what I was getting at.
It's an angle plate.
All right.
We're going to say maybe this might be straight, this case. I can do it this way, but more than likely it probably won't work. I have to take it all back off.
Now, where would you bolt it to, though, on that?
And we're not using these bolts because I can't get other ones to use.
Okay.
The phone hasn't rung in 5 minutes now. That's a miracle.
Well, that's good. All right. You got Alan here talking, so.
So now I'm not going to ring no more?
Well, I'm hoping they leave you alone.
Well, they haven't yet. They're ringing like crazy around here.
What do they want?
I don't know. Keep bothering me.
You'll help anybody that calls or walks through the door.
Well, that might be one of the problems.
Well.
You didn't get that 900 number set up yet.
What's that? I don't know what that is. I don't go on those porn channels, Tatro. Neither do you.
That's like a pay-per-view, but it's for phones.
Oh, okay. Well.
So instead of being free, I actually get paid for what I tell everybody.
Actually, we've got these stickers coming, folks, if anybody's interested.
No, we don't have any stickers coming yet.
Look at that thing. That's so from the 60s, Ed Roth.
Nobody knows how.
I don't know if you can tell, if you see the top of the guy's head's completely exploded and nuts and bolts are coming out of there. I'm going to be the first one to get that tattooed actually on my chest. Huh?
I thought you were going to get a shirt with that on.
My big man. Are those coming on the new shirts? Why not?
Gotta sell the old shirts first.
All right, well, but we've always got stuff in stock. All right, what's the trick to tightening these down? You told me this once before.
Is you spend money on shirts and you sell them and you take that money and buy more shirts.
All right, but that's what we're doing.
That's how you do it.
So is there a process to tightening this down?
Yeah, I just did right there.
All right, but you didn't tell us.
I'll tell you everything.
What are those little pieces called?
This stuff is top secret, you know. So
nah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
You're not going for any of that stuff.
Because you give the secrets away, Tatro.
Is it straight?
Now you're putting a dial indicator on there, right?
Being straight. Okay, so you indicate it in. You go until it touches. There, see how it touched? See, it's near zero under there.
Okay.
You have to get back.
Okay, I see that. You zeroed it out.
Okay. So you got this bolt over here is tight.
Okay.
This one over here is only semi-tight.
Okay.
I probably should have put on this hole instead of here, but whatever.
So even though that thing is nice and solid and tight, okay, you can still flex it, correct?
Now you go like this. See how the dial moved?
Oh yeah, look at that.
quits moving, you're close.
So even though it's not zero, if it's not moving, it's the same as zero, correct?
Well, when you move it, it pivots off the stud, not off of this.
Okay, okay. Because I'm not a machinist.
Now it should stay pretty much the same, or close to it.
So that means it's parallel to this axis, correct?
Well, parallel this or perpendicular to this.
All right, but it's at a 90 degree, correct?
It's true.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
So now it moved a half a thou, but the plate's probably half a thou out of whack.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that.
This is an import piece of crap.
Looks pretty.
I couldn't afford $500 and something for a plate. I went for something cheaper.
Well,
This one was only probably a couple $100, so you get what you pay for. That was before they had eBay. We can buy stuff cheap.
okay, so now the process here, you want to make sure these surfaces are flat. And why so? Of course, the cylinders would seal, but don't the gaskets take up that?
I need to come off of this surface here to get this squared up.
But why are we?
So
Why?
you either got to come off of this surface here, these here. This slip is not going to be accurate. You got to come off these two surfaces here, or I got to come off this surface over here.
Okay, but let me ask you a
I come off
question.
this surface here because it's more accurate. These dowel pins get in the way, so I either got to remove them, or I have to deal with them.
So let me ask you though, when you start polishing edges and whatever, you lose a lot, don't you?
Lose a lot of what?
Well, a lot of flat surface.
It affects it, yeah.
Okay, well that's what I'm wondering.
Okay, so we take one of these and stick it in here. Go until it's flush. Now you go through the angle plate, another bar and a nut. A bar. And use a big bar.
So anybody that's
Go like
interested,
this here, see? And the plate goes right here, and this is the right length stud, see?
okay. So are you going to remove these dowel pins?
Not yet.
And how would a guy remove those?
You got to take them out.
Well, I would think that wouldn't be easy.
Yeah, it depends on how you do things. So we got to see if they're going to be a problem. It appears they're going to be a problem.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, on this table here, it's a problem, but if you have more table like this where it's got more longer slots, a lot of times, sometimes you can make it work.
Okay.
See how that plate down there is made?
Mm-hmm.
See how it's got long slots in it?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that,
So I'm looking at what you're pulling against in here. You really don't have much of a surface to pull against.
well, I'm pulling right in the center of this area here. I'm dead center, you can't get much better than that.
Okay, all right.
So that gives you a nice good thing. Now if you pull over here on the side over here, it would caulk on you. So
What do you call this bushing in here?
it's an insert. It's a case insert. Case race, case bearing race, all kinds of names.
So I never hear the terminology down here of line boring. On a V8, you do that, correct?
That's because I'm not working on a car.
All right, but on this, you could you line bore any of these places? And why not?
Because line boring is what you do before you put the inserts in.
Okay, well that was the question. I just was wondering.
We don't have machinery around here to do that. So
Okay.
we don't do that.
But we're still building performance motors.
Well, we just got to flake it.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
We just fake it.
Yeah, that's not your nature, Mr. Tatro.
Yeah, I've been faking it all these years. I'm still getting a record book. Just think if I had good equipment.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the record book doesn't lie, so that's okay.
Yeah, just think if we had real equipment.
Now, what do we got here?
You have a tool.
Right, what does it do?
Did you read the name of the tool?
I didn't have a chance. Okay, it says Goodson Engine Builders, but it doesn't tell you what it is. What is it? All right, it's a Dowel Puller Kit. All right.
So you're going to tear up the damn label.
All right. So it's going to pull those dowels. And I see it doesn't work.
Not always.
Mr. Goodson didn't know what he was talking about.
These things have been buffed, and who knows how tight they're in there.
So you hit it down on the collet and it pinches it and then pulls it up, correct? Look at that. No shit.
The problem is the harder you hit it, the more it embeds into the case. See that surface?
Yeah.
It leaves a mark in the case.
All right, but
So you don't want to do it any more than you have to. So you start out soft, and you get more aggressive as you go.
Jesus.
And then it doesn't want to come out at all, like this one. You see us leaving a mark in the case?
Yeah, but that's nothing on the racing circuit.
Yeah,
Is it?
But I don't want to keep doing that because it's not going to do it.
How about vice grips?
It's not going to come.
Well, there's not much there to bite on.
That's correct, but that's not the problem.
Okay.
The problem is it won't come out. So, we want to take it out. We don't want to come out. Now, we don't know what's holding it in there. It's press fit, Loctited, or just who knows.
Why would they Loctite such a thing?
Because they like to Loctite things.
Well, Jesus criminy.
That's how they do it. Makes them feel better.
Till the next guy comes along.
That's right.
That would be you.
Correct. But I want to get it out of there. That's the problem. And this surface here is getting all screwed up, so it needs to be cut anyway, because it doesn't look like crap. And that dumbass is beating up with these dowel hoods and it ain't helping us. So there's what's in there. Remember, you don't have to be
Yeah,
as
no,
close.
I can see. I'm watching. Okay.
So we got more issues to deal with. I'm just dealing with everything today. All right, time for a walk.
We're heading back into the inner sanctum here at Tatro Machine. Nobody really knows what we've got here. This is the bike this motor's going in. The fella's real particular, if you can tell. That's a beautiful transmission. All powder coated. Gonna be nice. Tatro won't let anybody ride this thing. Has anybody ever ridden your race bike? Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, man.
Good.
Good to see you.
Nice seeing you too. Come on in.
You working on this?
Just
This is your bike, right?
no, mine's different. Mine's in my truck.
Oh, but you do have a WLA.
I do, yes, sir.
I swear this one is your. Oh my
No.
god, that's a lot of washers. That's crazy.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
Working on this thing.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm Dominic.
Okay, hi Dominic. You're an enthusiast, I can tell.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You're
I like
wearing.
bikes a little bit.
You're wearing the right attire. What do you got
Yeah.
on the back of that?
What? Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Tatro Machine. I guess you got that up there at the front desk.
Yeah, this is my shop shirt. It's,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, you're always welcome here. Yeah, this is coming along. Big project. Friendship Bell.
This? Oh, is it stripped? Or
The transmission is out. It has issues.
so metal expands when you heat it up, right?
That was a gunshot.
What the hell was that?
That was the acetylene popping.
What?
Damn. Throw one come out. Need a hammer. Steel hammer.
Where would you have one, Tatro?
Somewhere over there.
So where did it pop from? Oh.
Here, Dominic.
What?
the aluminum is different than the steel.
Oh.
So it'll get bigger around that pin. It'll take more for that pin to heat.
I see.
Try not to break the case.
So he's just getting it big enough to where it'll pop out.
What's the engine from?
That bike in there on the
engine, right?
Yeah.
That bike?
No, that bike in there on the stand.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Knew we could.
Looks too. I gotta cool the case down before it breaks it.
Similar metal wants to go away from each other. Is that hot to the touch?
Not anymore.
You should do a series on how to remove things that are a pain in the ass to
The
remove.
thing is, you're hitting only heating right here. So
Right.
when it expands, it's trying to blow all this shit apart.
Right.
It's split right up the whole side of it.
Right.
Especially down through here.
But you didn't have it for very long. What do you think temperature you got that up to?
Feel the temperature here versus here.
Yeah, I know. It's quite a difference.
This is cold.
Ice cold, yep. And here it's
this,
warm.
This was hot over here.
Yeah, I got
This
you.
was cold over here.
And it wants to push it apart, for
This
sure.
here, I had right here, I probably had up to about 700, 800
Sure,
degrees.
sure.
Right here.
Now, when a motor's running, it heats up equally all
What
over.
happened to the case when I did it, it obviously pushed sideways on it because I'm on an uneven surface. And see how I put a big nick in the case, which is not good.
Okay.
So I
But
screwed
you
it
got
up.
that pin out.
Yeah, but I screwed the case up doing it.
Did you have to sand it basically?
Gonna mill it, I think.
The JV welded it a little bit. See how I screwed it up? Because it was all pushing sideways on me because I'm on an uneven surface here. Trying to get the thing in and out without breaking the case, and I screwed up the case instead, so there you go.
Was that really bad? The little nick there?
Depends if you want an oil leak or not. I wouldn't be happy if I saw it, would you?
Well, you did the best you could.
No. I did what I had to do to get it apart.
Okay,
I could
well.
have destroyed the dowel pin too instead of destroying the case. So I saved the dowel pin and screwed the case up, so which one's better?
Well, but you're gonna put a gasket between there and there.
That doesn't matter, you still screwed it up.
Okay,
Just
well.
because I can deal with it doesn't mean it's good. But anyway, that's what happens when you're rushing to get it done because it's hot. I don't want to split the case. I didn't break the case and cause it to split down the center. So
Gotcha.
it's a plus, but
Gotcha.
just one of the deals you be careful with. So I didn't help it a lot. Oh, well.
Thank you. Thank you.
You didn't let anyone ride this? I can't imagine why.
Pardon me?
You won't let anyone ride this? Can't imagine why.
I'm just talking. I couldn't ride it, could you?
I don't know. I've never tried. I would try to know.
It's pretty scary, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty scary.
Yeah, but you were afraid getting up this morning. Where's my dull file at? See that high spot?
Tatro, you're a perfectionist, but I think you're all right. I think you're doing all right.
So I got JV weld that up in over here.
Come on now.
It's hard to get good help.
We're not worried about that thin spot in the front, but we're gonna JB weld up that nick. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you.
We can blame it on Nick.
Well, when he leaves, we're gonna blame everything on Nick.
him coming in here. I knew I put it someplace.
Were you able to find those thrust washers last night?
Nope.
You weren't. Did we get them ordered?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I can watch his videos all day long. It's very like cathartic. It's just very relaxing to watch.
Push you to sleep.
They're relaxing?
Yeah, I think they're relaxing. They
I don't know if they're relaxing.
Especially when I screw it up.
Something to learn. It's always something to learn.
Good thing the customer never watches the videos.
No, I don't know. I imagine they do. Now, what you got there? What'd you set up there?
My level.
Okay.
It looked like I was close this way, but I got this way. It's
Okay, let me step over here and see.
2.3 degrees off. What do you want? I'm busy. Nope, he's not here.
Dave's not here.
There's that damn phone again.
I can get it for you.
No. There's the customers calling me about how I screwed up his case.
On your phone up. Hey guys.
Hello. No, I got 3 people standing here right now. Give me a call back in about 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, bye.
Liar.
So there, see I'm at 0.01 now. And over here on the other side of the case.
Wow, look at that. Oh, yeah, okay,
It's
you're
actually
good.
pretty even.
Yeah, not
Okay, now
bad.
what's the V angle on a Harley?
45. Correct? There you go.
This one's pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Sometimes they're 2-3 degrees off.
All right, Willie G knew what he was doing.
Yeah, but most of the time they're not even close.
Really?
Yes, it's common to be 42 and 43.
No kidding.
Yes.
Is it a problem?
So what compensates for that? The wrist pin?
It is when you're supposed to be 45 degrees. That's what we wait for. Okay.
What's magic about the number 45?
That's the V angle.
Okay,
So the V angle has to match whatever the cam profile is made for.
I gotcha.
If you don't have 45 degrees, the cam lobes are in the wrong spot, so the cam's not where it belongs.
I gotcha. And then we lose performance.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense to me.
It's made to be a certain number. If it's not the same number, it's no good. So now I got to indicate this in and see how much I'm like this, and I'll have to shim it a little bit if it's off. So we'll be back for this project.
Okay, here we go.
All right, we got another 2.5 hours of work done. We didn't do anything on this though. So tomorrow we're going to go ahead and finish leveling this thing out and cut these deck down, smooth them up, and get this part handled. So run out of time. At sneak peek for tomorrow, we're going to work on the 45 motor finally. So I got to get this thing apart, see how to machine the cases on this one, and then we go over here and cut these cases here to fit for the stroker motor. So that'll be tomorrow's project. We have some fun. Get back to stuff I like working on. And Alan's transmission, which is right here, we're waiting for some thrust washers. I'm missing one of the ones I need, and we can't find any, so we're on hold for till next week on getting Alan's tranny back together. So we'll play. So this is on hold. I get to work on this. Have some fun. And we gotta get this done here too. So anyway, that's what we're doing. So we'll get this all cleaned up. I'll grind these all out and get these things buttoned up. I'm gonna have to JB weld up this area right here and on that gasket surface where I screwed it up over there. I gotta fix that. So, but other than that, this is a should be a pretty good motor. We're gonna send these out to get them polished. So I'm also gonna have to cut this area right here for the gasket seal. When they buff right up to the edge right here, you got to cut them a little bit deeper to get a flat area to seal against again. Otherwise, they seep a little bit. So I'll touch that up too. But polish just causes a lot of damage. It looks nice, but it causes damage. So just more stuff to deal with. Anyway, that's it for tonight. So we're done for now.